Before we begin, thank you very much to Inferno Bat for joining the Patreon campaign. Thank you very much for the support. Very, very appreciated. You pitched in quite a bit, so you are owed a video request. Please DM me over Patreon for that. It's the easiest way for me to keep track of them. Thank you again very much. Very much. Thank you so much. Okay. This is a weird day. This is weird. So, between all of the crazy stuff that got revealed and shown off in Japan with T-Spark, and then everything shown off on the fan stream yesterday, there's something that slipped between the cracks that I feel like I have to talk about because this is one of the biggest deals I have ever seen in Transformers. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Hot Wheels is doing their own Optimus Prime, and I do not mean that they are doing their own Optimus Prime truck as a Hot Wheel. They are, in fact, doing that. I mean, they're just straight up doing a G1 Optimus Prime. They officially announced it yesterday, this is just the craziest thing. So, Hasbro in recent years has been a lot more willing to work with other companies when it comes to this brand, aside from just seeing a ballooning of options for non-transforming Transformers toys out there between your Super 7, your Flame toys, your even like of course YOLO Park, and all of those. And then you have of course things like Robosen and Lego also getting a hold of Transformers. But this is weird. This is surreal. This is their biggest competitor getting to use their biggest brand. This is weird. This is like if McDonald's told Burger King, you can make a Big Mac, and by the way, you're allowed to call it a Big Mac. It's bizarre. It's like breaking my collective consciousness here. So let's take a look at how they did. Let's take a look at the product that they're actually showing off, and then we got some other stuff to discuss when it comes to this. First off, yeah, it's a fully transforming G1 Optimus Prime. It's basically the exact same toy. Holds his gun in that same exact doofy way. Has fists that are required to be plugged into place. But the only change visible from here is he's way shinier. It looks like the entire thing is chrome rather than just the gray parts. And yeah, it looks like his neck can actually rotate, which is a little bit of an upgrade. It ain't missing Link, but you know what? It's neat. Because consider this, it's still Hot Wheels sized. It's still 1 in 64 scale. So the fact that they accomplished this is already really cool. Keep in mind, smallest transforming Transformer Optimus Prime is a thing. We've seen Optimus Prime done smaller, but that one had sacrifices. This one is just straight up the G1 toy, miniaturized, which is a crazy thing. Like, Mattel basically got to do a sanctioned knockoff. If we're being real here, that's what they got to do. And I want to point out, the fact that it transforms is crazy through all of those companies that I named. For the most part, if another company gets to do something with the Transformer brand, it doesn't transform. It is almost always a non-transforming figure, or sometimes it is a collectible car based on a famous Transformers character. It is almost never a transforming toy of any kind. And you know these companies like 3-0, like they could absolutely do a transforming figure. They've got the engineering prowess to pull that off. No, it's like legitimately like Hasbro just does not let other companies do that. It's only in recent years, and it's only when it's a big deal. So like Robosen gets to do it, but I would argue that a self-transforming figure is a very different play experience than transforming it yourself with your own hands. Lego got to do transforming Optimus Prime, and apparently a Bumblebee soon. But those are, again, a very different play experience with the brick building aspect. This is weird. This is weird. The fact that it is their biggest rival that actually gets to do it, where they're actually letting them make the exception, is very bizarre to me. It's very surreal to me. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of the stock photos here so we get a very clean look at how this toy is. So straight up, like if you put this in front of someone and you said, hey, here's the old G1 Optimus Prime, do you remember this toy? And they go, oh yeah, thing from the 80s. You'd never recognize this as something that's going to be released this year. You wouldn't realize this is something made this year. There's only minor differences that you can spot here. One, you can see there is a minor plastic difference in the hinge that holds the arm, and the trailer hitch is different. It actually looks more like an actual truck hitch than a peg. So, you know what? It's extremely faithful. It's extremely faithful, which is surprising, again, for all the reasons I've named. And then, yes, it still transforms. Paint apps on the eye is a little bit doofy. It is very small. We will forgive it. But everything else seems to be very lovingly painted. The stickers have been recreated with tampagraphs. Looks very, very good. Windows translucent. The torso, by the way, the chassis of this is die-cast. So this is like a proper Hot Wheels thing. So the fact that the windows are still translucent does mean that they went to the extra effort of putting in insert windows. Something Hasbro doesn't really do. Jeez, it even holds its gun in that stupid way. I can't get over that. I can never get over that. And then just to confirm scale here, 3.5 inches tall. So in robot mode, this basically equates to about where pocket scale third-party toys come up to. Like your legends, like those legend-sized Optimus Primes that cost, a fortune. This one now exists to join that pantheon. It's still so bizarre. It's still so bizarre to me. This is like officially licensed third-party pocket scale. This is weird. And there it is compared to the original Optimus Prime. Yeah, it's just a mini-me. It is literally just like we cloned Optimus Prime, and here they are side by side. Hasbro on the left, Mattel on the right. Super weird. They also put in a lot of effort on the packaging on this one, because the packaging does do something cool. For instance, you do have this clamshell box, which includes a spot for the instructions, and then a box inside the box. And the box inside the box is fascinating. So that box in particular is a frame. It's actually explained here. So let me see this. So you can see here where it's packaged in vehicle mode with a Hot Wheels style card back on it. However, you can also reverse it to look like a Transformers packaging with him in robot mode. So you can display it either way, which I think is a really cool idea. So on Instagram or in a few other social spots, they actually did explain how this works. So so one is a resealable blister-style packaging with clamshell, so you can display it as a Hot Wheels semi-truck, and the other package is a Transformer-style window box, so you can display it as a robot. That's the assumption. Hang on, I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's one box inside one big box. No seal, so it's not resealable. The one box is like an open frame. There are two blisters used as an insert to display in either truck or robot. The card is reversible, one side truck, other side robot. So, they actually have mentioned, so this thing, you can actually take that out, rotate it around, and there's a second blister on the other side where you can store Optimus in truck mode. So that is actually a really cool trick. Okay, that's actually a really cool trick. So that pleases both Mint and Box collectors. There's also a little bit of behind the scenes for this. Let's see. Yes, it transforms. The Instagram did post a video of how it transforms, and it is just straight up the G1 Optimus Prime, so congratulations. First printout was a year ago. They've been working on this for a while. 175 hours of work for initial concept, sculpting, preliminary engineering, development, etc. So this is weird to me that it would take so long to basically shrink down an Optimus Prime that already exists. I have to imagine Hasbro has a CAD model of the G1 Prime at this point. So this is weird that it took this long. But hey, effort's effort. In order for it to work at the scale, I had to make some slight modifications to the size and tolerance limits. Two sliding joints were used for the shoulders and ankles, so the shoulders and ankles could clear during transformation. Also made a hip joint to spread the legs out, but limited due to space. Other than that, Optimus transforms the same as G1 Optimus from 1984. They also made up the serial number, which is HXT02, so I assume HXT01 is the individual Bumblebee. Yeah, that's a lot of working hours for something that is essentially the same toy shrunken down. They did show the first 3D print, which is neat. It's neat to see the development process of this. So somewhere in the world, yeah, a 3D printable G1 Optimus Prime that was made by a company that was legally allowed to do it actually exists. No, it will probably not be available. But it is cool to see the design work and the effort that went into this. Now, as just a brief tangent here, it always worries me when a team that is not accustomed to Transformers actually does a transforming figure. That's how you end up with Titanium. But I'm going to assume that they put some actual people on this, and that a G1 Optimus Prime is not the hardest thing to replicate and make sure that everything feels good on the figure. But I'm also going to assume that it's Mattel, you know? I do not think they are putting their C team on this one like they ended up doing for the Titanium line. I think we're actually getting some good stuff here. Let's see. There's more behind-the-scenes stuff. Every part is newly tooled. New tooled wheels and tires are exclusive to this toy. Wheels will not be used on future products. I know things like that are really important to a Hot Wheels collector, which is the reason that I have mentioned it. Anytime unique parts are put on these toys, like you kind of go nuts because it makes it a little bit more special. They also mentioned that because it has to transform, there's no traditional barbell axle, which means it's not going to roll as well as traditional Hot Wheels toys. It does roll, just don't expect it to go very far if you stick them in your launcher. So that's kind of understandable. So yeah, there's a lot that went into this. It's a really impressive packaging, and it's going up for sale in less than a week on their official website for the low price of $80. Whew. Huh. So you remember when, do you remember when we all went nuts because Walmart reissued the G1 Optimus Prime with just the cab, no trailer, and it was $50? Here's an Optimus Prime half the size, also no trailer, $80. I don't know how you justify that. I legitimately don't know. I legitimately racking my brain trying to figure this out, trying to think it over. How do you actually justify that kind of price for something that is less than 4 inches tall? This isn't like third-party Transformer stuff where there's a crazy amount of parts and engineering to it in order to give it full articulation, transformation, multiple modes, etc. No. This is just Optimus Prime. This is just G1 Optimus Prime. It's one of the most simple toys you could possibly make. And you're gonna charge $80. Oh my god. You might think, well, is this a licensing thing? Is this a whole licensing? No, it's not. Here is the Hot Wheels Jurassic Park, another licensed piece, $30. Now, granted, it's not transforming, so there's a far smaller part count to this, but just as far as material costs go, you know that $50 difference is going somewhere, right? I don't know where. I don't know if that's just maybe that's just how much Hasbro charged for the license to be able to do a transforming figure. Is that why it's so expensive? Because they need that big of a cut, a cutback? I don't know. So you might think that is cost prohibitive, $80, right? You clearly do not know Hot Wheel collectors. I'm just going to tell you right now. Here's another product from Creations exclusive that sold out at $70, and it's not one of the most popular pop culture characters of the last 40 years. So, no, this is going to sell out immediately between Transformer collectors and Hot Wheel collectors. I'm sorry if you're a fan of Hot Wheels. I'm sorry if you're a Hot Wheel collector. Hot Wheel collectors are the Florida men of toy collecting. The weirdest, craziest, most vile stories I have ever heard about trying to get a hold of collectibles have always come from Hot Wheel collectors doing super creepy or super cruel things in order to get specific toys and cars. It is frightening sometimes, the stories I have heard. Now, it is frustrating that for 80 bucks you don't even get a plastic box to act as a trailer. Not to worry, they are putting out their Track Fleet Optimus Prime, so keep in mind, all this Hot Wheels stuff is 1/64th scale, so that trailer is going to be in scale to this G1 transforming Optimus. Whether or not it's compatible, we don't know. There is a peg you can see there. Whether it connects to the hitch on this new one, we don't know. If it doesn't, that's going to be a massive, massive oversight on the part of Mattel. Also, let's just like boil this down here. If we're including shipping, because I'm going to assume $80 does not include the shipping price on this thing, and then the cost of buying and shipping this thing, you're now going to be looking at somewhere around $100 for the whole thing just to get an Optimus Prime that transforms with this trailer. Noted, the trailer does not transform, nor does it have the nice shiny coat that the truck has. So getting a complete package for this is literally impossible unless they charge another $80 down the line to actually give you a transforming trailer. And don't doubt them, I absolutely believe they are capable of charging that. It's a really confusing decision for me. Really confusing. Like, I've already seen so many people who would so love to get a hold of this, but it's immediately price, it's immediately, the sticker shock is so true on this one. It's immediately cost prohibitive. And this is just one of the weird choices. It's like just one of the weird choices they have made on this. So, for instance, like, we've already talked on this channel about the fact that the Bumblebee that they're doing is only one per case. What are you doing? Do you not want to make money? It's like, between that and how expensive this Optimus Prime is, I don't see how this collaboration is helping out anybody. This just seems like scalper fuel to me. Because once that Optimus sells out, a scalper is going to want $200 on eBay for that tiny little Optimus Prime that may or may not be jank quality. We don't know yet. And they're going to charge a fortune just to get a hold of that little Volkswagen Bumblebee, because it's one per case. I don't understand why Hot Wheels seems like it's just making very poor decisions when it comes to this crossover. Okay, so I just want to get that tangent aside. We're going to end off on something that I noticed about the back of the packaging, because the back of the packaging included a full bio, which is something we don't get on Transformers these days. But Hot Wheels has provided one, and it reads like so. When Transformers Optimus Prime drove onto the scene... Hang on, I need to pull this up for real, because I actually need to adjust this so you can read it. Did not realize that was going to cut off. There we go. Alright, so, let us continue. When Transformers Optimus Prime drove onto the scene, a fan base rolled with it. When Transformers Optimus Prime, already kind of weird phrasing, a fan base rolled with it. I feel like the word "in" is missing there. The Autobots' fearless leader became one of the most recognizable names in entertainment for decades. The Optimus Prime (G1) hit shelves in 1984, instantly becoming a huge hit in the toy space for both kids and collectors alike. Okay, the Optimus Prime (G1). We didn't need that at the start of it, but we need it here in the middle. Huge hit, with a full transformation from a heavy-duty truck cab into a towering Autobot ready for battle. Hot Wheels and Transformers joined forces to authentically recreate a 1/64th scale Optimus Prime (G1) in metal. In metal. What does in metal mean? What does in metal mean? What does in metal mean? This transforming collector piece comes with full graphics on top of the red and blue Spectraflame paint. What? What do you mean full graphics on top of the red? What are you describing here? And Real Riders custom wheels. Hearing Autobots roll out will be top of mind while admiring this robot in disguise. So, this is one of two. This is either very poorly translated. This is either very poorly, machine translated, which is weird considering this is not a foreign company. But also, like, it's so weirdly laid out. I mean, it feels like they gave it to Chat GPT. And just like, here, make an Optimus Prime blurb. It's weird. I mean, on top of the fact that your bio blurb kind of looks like a coupon for a pizzeria, like, why are you making $80 no trailer for a tiny Optimus Prime? And you can't even be bothered to write a basic bio. Copy paste that article from Wikipedia for all I care. But like, there's so many obvious wording errors and just oddities. And fortunately, we know who did it, because they credited Julian here for creating this packaging. So good job, Julian. Your packaging came up with a really cool trick, and then you just kind of like phoned it in on the actual bio. I have no idea how. So I just want to put Mattel on. Like, this is, again, it's things like this that, like, it seems like they put in a ton of work, but at the same time, when you have something like that, now I feel like this is an afterthought. Someone at Mattel saw that and approved it, and the packaging is being produced as we speak, because this has a shipping date of June. This ain't getting delayed just so they can make a bio on the box that isn't written by a machine. They're going to put your collector's item out that way. So, there you go. Hot Wheels is making Optimus Prime with a lot of really weird decisions going into it that I do not personally agree with. It looks neat, but it looks like $40 neat at the most. It does not look $80 neat. It just does not. I'm sorry, it does not. But I'm sure it's going to sell out immediately. I'm sure Hot Wheels collectors are going to covet this thing. So let me know what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts about this whole mess, whether it's the strange decisions or just the toy in general? And as always, I will see you next time.